Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Director Rob Marshall is bringing Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine's beloved musical Into the Woods to the big screen opening on Christmas Day. And I caught up with Rob to talk about this magical venture from stage to screen. Just brilliant. I had the best time last night.
Oh, I'm so glad, Rich. That makes me really happy.
So tell me, this is a musical you always wanted to make, isn't it?
Always wanted to make. You know, when I met with Stephen Sondheim after Chicago came out, I said to him, I really would love to do a musical of yours. You know, and we started talking, it was a long time ago, but we started talking about which that would be, and he felt Into the Woods would be the right fit for me. He really thought that would be perfect for me, and I held on to that, you know, and it wasn't until 2011 when I was watching President Obama speak to the families of the victims of 9/11. It was the 10th anniversary. And he said to them, in an effort to console them, he said, "You are not alone, no one is alone." And it just hit me. I mean, you know, as we know, that's sort of the penultimate song in the piece, and sort of the central theme, if you can pick one theme of the piece in a way, for me. And I thought, and I turned to John DeLuca, my partner, and I said, "John, I think it's time to make this film. I think it's an important message for today." And it felt like the right time. And I called James, and I called Steve Sondheim, James Lapine, and they were so excited about the idea of doing it. They said, only one thing, can you make sure it actually gets made this time?" Yeah. And I said, I'll do that.
What was the key to unlocking this for the cinema?
For me, it was finding a way to translate it that felt like a film. I mean, the biggest disservice you can do to a Broadway musical is to take the actual musical that's on stage and just put it on film, because you're not reimagining it for film. It's such a different medium. So I really wanted to make sure we were careful about that, and so I brought James Lapine on to write the screenplay, and I brought Stephen Sondheim on to help us put it together. And it was really important to do that because in many ways, actually, I felt I was holding on to the material more than James and Steve were. You know, they were ready to go, well, let's reimagine this. But I love the piece so much, and I really wanted to retain as much as we could. So it was really about serving it as a piece, but making sure that you're reimagining it as a film and making it work that way.
So beautifully cast. That's the brilliance of what you do also.
Well, thank you, Richie. Well, you know what? That's the joy of this piece, the cast. I mean, I think that's why schools do it so much. It's an enormous cast, you know, with amazing performances and characters. But, you know, I asked Meryl Streep to do it first. I'd always wanted to work with her. I mean, I can't imagine a director who doesn't want to work with Meryl. And I worked with, you know, I asked her to do it. She said yes, immediately. And that's sort of set the bar for everybody. And then, you know, you do that thing you do, which is, because musicals, yes, they're being made, but still few and far between. And so I don't know that an Emily Blunt can sing or a Chris Pine can sing. And so those are all these wonderful surprises as you're casting and you're learning, you know. And everybody came in to audition because that's how it has to be, you know. And it was, I mean, when Emily Blunt came in and sang Moments in the Woods, it was like a full performance. And I remember I was crying afterwards because I couldn't believe that someone could find the humor and warmth and joy and strength and vulnerability of this character. And she did it like that. It was just such an obvious choice.
My final question is, what gives you the greatest thrill when you watch the film?
Oh my gosh. I think it works as a piece, as a film, you know, because that's the hardest thing to do, is to make, I mean, musicals are like literally doing two films at once, because you have the story and the filming of it, but then you have the rehearsal and the music and all of that side of things. And to blend it together to make it work as a piece, you know, so when it feels like you're in it and it's working, I mean, that's the thing, you know, it seems easy, but we know musicals are so hard to make work. And I love the genre, as I know you do. And so it's important. So that's when it's going and working and playing, that's the joy.
This is perfect.
Oh, Richie!
So happy for you.
Oh, I love seeing you.